Marnie's got her own story. Okay, I'm right here. Give her a hand, please. Give her some support.
Hello everyone, and thank you all for coming today. This is a cause that's been close to my heart from birth. I want to thank the lovely ladies beside me that have come alongside me and are supporting me. I wish to thank our previous speaker, who as a teacher did the right thing, who spoke up for the children who couldn't speak for themselves. I also wish to thank Fiona Barnett. She's obviously gone to ground, for those who know her story. If she sees this, I wish to thank her for inspiring me. For a long time I've wanted to come and tell my story, but for protection of my own family, many of us that are victims have had to stay in the shadows, and like Fiona, the war never ends for us. We are still hunted, we are still tracked down, and we are still persecuted every single day. I asked not to be named today. My first name has been given, but I'll keep my last name quiet, just not unlike the suppression orders for the protection of the pedophiles, but for the many victims that I will speak of today. If any of them receive this message, I'm sorry if it triggers you or recreates trauma for you. Some in particular, I know that it could lead to mental breakdowns when they hear their story, so I am very sorry. But I am the keeper of the secrets, and I'm here to expose them today. Like I said, part of why I didn't want to be named is because I've seen on YouTube and TikTok and everywhere else, we live in a world where everyone wants to be seen, everyone wants to be famous, everyone wants to be known. I'm not here for me, even though I have a massive story to tell, and that will come out in my autobiography one day soon, hopefully. But I am here for all the voiceless, those who have suffered that I've witnessed, and those who didn't make it through this fight. So, to get on with it, I'm here so that whenever people have a rally for children, you know not just that you're protecting your children and future generations, but I want you to know the thousands who have come before you, many who never got to tell their story, some were silenced and some never had a voice, and many died without justice. I am here for my niece, who was torn from my arms 4 hours after birth and cannibalised in front of me and my sister. My sister has no memory of her. She doesn't remember her own child. She has had so many mental health treatments, including electric shock therapy, that she can no longer speak for herself. I am here for the undercover police officer who, fresh out of the police academy, was willing to come into the pedophile ring and risk his job, his life, and even his freedom to save us and get us to safety after a full year in captivity. I'm here for dozens of children who were suppressed by the Wood Royal Commission, who were molested by my father on the Wisemans Ferry School bus. Children he came home and bragged about as he held up keys and said, "Don't parents know it's an unsafe world? Shouldn't mothers be home to raise their children when their children get home from school?" And he would keep them on the bus and go back to the bus depot, where he would molest them. Then he would come home and dangle his keys at the kitchen table and laugh. And for the next few weeks he would watch as I ran to every adult, every teacher, every parent, every church leader that I could and screamed for those children, all falling on deaf ears. That is why I thank the school teacher who stood up today. I'm here for the police and the judge that kept my sister and I in a pedophile ring for nearly a year, and then they went on to support and conceal my father's activities. I'm here for the silence and the refusal to name predators, which we've scene with the lifting of the suppression orders, which 10 years after my father went to the commission, my mother said that 2 girls had come fundraising from a local school selling biscuits. She sent them out to my father because she didn't have money and sent them to the garden shed where he locked them for an hour, and they ran away crying, and she claimed she had no idea why. The Wood Royal Commission is guilty of not protecting children. It's guilty of silencing the victims through suppression orders, and it enabled the predators to re-offend indiscriminately for decades after. The official report stated that there was not enough evidence to support the existence of satanic ritual abuse or pedophile rings within Australia, despite the sworn testimonies of dozens and dozens of victims. I have always spoken the truth and spoken out. I was given mental health labels to conceal the truth and to ease others' consciences when they refused to listen or act on my endless pleas to help. I am here for my children who have never known aunts, uncles, grandparents or great-grandparents, as this fight has cost us my entire family, who chose to stand with the offender than to be forced to accuse him. I am here for the children who stood in a line beside me, girls in pageantry dresses and boys in onesie outfits, who were forced to run into a forest in the dead of night to the blaring wartime speakers screaming the song Teddy Bear's Picnic, as a line of men dressed in bear outfits chased us down. I'm here for the rebellion that I led, gathering the children that we could find in the bush, circling and locking arms together as we marched back into the opening, and I declared, "We will not play your games." As a gun was held to my face, and I looked him in the eyes and said, "Go ahead." They targeted other children, realising I no longer cared if I lived or was dead. I told the girls and boys to unlock arms because we won that round. Live today and fight for another day. And no matter what happens, if we die holding this night that we had a small victory. I'm here for those children who, at the end of the night, and as I was punished and humiliated for my rebellion, I just kept smiling at all of them, trying to give them strength, because there was nothing left they could do to me. As we were thrown in the dungeon that night, all filled with terror, I and a few others who copped the most brutal punishment tried to rally the troops to courage and strength, looking in those faces, knowing which ones would be lucky to survive the night, as the shock and terror was just too great and their hearts would give out. Others we hope to inspire to fight to the death and never give them the satisfaction to win. I've only learnt recently what adrenochrome, or drinking the blood of people children who are in extreme terror, but back then we knew it even though we didn't know a name for it. And my message was, don't let them scare you. Go down with your head high and don't give them the satisfaction. To the little boy who was put on the military plane in crates with me, so many children put into little wooden crates, many of the children weeing and losing their bowel motions through terror as they were packed onto military planes. For him and for all the others, I stand today. So when you hear our stories and wonder why people like Fiona and I are not at these rallies, or we're not speaking in public, it's because we have fought this war our entire lives and still do. We are still targeted. And when you march, you carry us and all these victims and more with you. Many of whom their blood screams from the ground and from the heavens for justice. Know that when you fight, it may cost you friends, it may cost you family, it may cost your freedom or even your life, But we cannot and must never give up. Thank you for listening to our collected stories. I just wanted to finish off with one poem that I wrote the other night. And it goes, teased and taunted, hunted and haunted. God, I can't just hold me, open the earth and swallow me. Hide me in the earth, safe from harm. This evil on this earth is no cause for alarm. Just worry about you and shop till you drop. Someone else's problem, someone else's pain. Deaf, dumb and blind, you got nothing to say. How long you gonna live in illusion? Not given a toss, just keep consuming. Consuming the script read by the puppets. Force-fed till you're dead. Too arrogant to think you could be wrong, and too ignorant to listen to the truth. You all know how to play the game. It's someone else's problem, someone else's pain. Soon you'll be teased and taunted, hunted and haunted. Wake up before they hunt you like they hunted us. Thank you. Thank you.